Well, hello, Facebook, and one person watching live. If that's you, I want to know who you are. And if you're wondering who that is, that's my Echo on my cellular device. Yeah, so today we are back into Canva. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Facebook covers. So, um, Facebook covers are really important because it's like the first taste of your page that people see when they click on your page. And so you want to make sure that you're updating it at least 4 times a year so you can go seasonally. I would suggest updating it more frequently than that, especially because we're talking about restaurants and food businesses. You want to make sure that you're keeping updated with, whatever your specials are. If you're trying out new foods or whatever your bestseller is, making sure that that is at the forefront of your page is going to be really beneficial to you, and also your customers are going to see that awesome food and want to come spend money at your establishment. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to get started. um, we'll see how the day operates. All right, perfect. So hopefully you guys can all see my lovely uh, Canva screen here. I'll go back to our main page. So as you guys know, we're talking all about Canva. It's canva.com, canva.com. Canva is a really awesome tool. I want you guys to jump in here, use the free version. Everything I show you is going to be stuff that you can do for free. Now, there is a paid version, it's like 12 bucks a month. If you find yourself that you're using a lot of these tools, but you want those little extras that Canva offers, then it's a good use of our money. It may be a good use of yours as well. But everything I'm going to show you today is the free stuff. But what I want to show you real quick is when you go into your canva.com, you're going to hit that create a design. Now, you can create whatever the heck you want in Canva, but like I said, today we're talking specifically about Facebook covers. So what you're going to do, you just type in Facebook and it's going to give you a bunch of stuff here, but here we go, Facebook cover, not to be confused with a Facebook event cover. These are different dimensions, right? You can see that a Facebook cover is 1640 by 924 pixels. That's different than the event cover, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels. And I know that if you're watching this like on your phone or your computer, that is like really, really tiny, but it makes a huge difference. So you want to make sure that when you are doing a Facebook cover for your page, you're selecting the right one. If you are creating an event, then do the event cover. But today we're talking just the plain cover. Now, I want you guys to see what this looks like. See all this white space? This is your open canvas, essentially. This is where your design is going to go. But I'm going to pop over to this tab that I have open. You see what this looks like on here. So you may not be able to see it. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Okay. So this is showing you what is going to be visible in your design. Now, see the dimensions of this white space? This is your safe zone. So when people are on their phones, they're able to see everything in that white space. If they're on their desktop, they're able to see everything on their desktop. But you can see that this purple line up here and the purple line down here is also visible on mobile, whereas stuff in the blue is only visible on the desktop. So you can see that when someone's on a desktop, they can see more horizontally, but if they're on mobile, they can see more vertically. So this all being said, you want to make sure that your designs are staying in the safe zone. And I'll show you how to do that in your design. But always keep this in mind. You don't want like text on the very far right or the very far left. You don't want anything that's going to get cut off on the top or the bottom. A lot of people, maybe put a phone number, an email address at the very bottom. You don't want to do that because it's going to get cut off on certain devices. So always try to make sure that the main part of your design stays in that safe zone. So I'm going to come back over here to our Facebook page and we'll get started. In the meantime, if you are watching this, comment in the what your name is, what your business is. If you are indeed a food business, let us know. I'm always looking for new places to eat. So let us know in the comments who you are and why you're interested in learning more about Canva. And then I am going to just kind of jump right on into it. So the very first thing I want you guys to know is that there are so many templates that Canva allows you to use completely for free. So I want to make sure that if you're just getting started with Canva, using a template is going to be really, really easy and probably the safest bet as far as like being able to play around with a couple things first. So let's take a look at some of these templates. Don't worry about what the text is or what the photos are, anything like that. You're just looking for the most basic design. Like if you find something you like, we want to make sure that we're using that and we can make it our own afterwards. So I actually like this one. So if we go back to that safe zone, right? Okay, we're good with the top, we're good with the bottom, and we're good on the sides, right? All this stuff is like right there in the middle, and it's going to be visible on mobile and on a desktop. Of course, this says flower shop grand opening, and it gives the date and some beautiful flowers, right? But this has nothing to do with our business, right? So what we're going to want to do is swap out those photos, swap out the text, and we can change the colors around. So let's work on colors first. So we can see that this background is a, I don't know, tan, off-white, whatever you want to call this, eggshell. So the way we're going to change this color is by selecting it. You can see that it's lit up in that teal line. And then we've got a little background color box right here. If we select that, we're able to choose a color that exists already in one of these pictures. So you can see that the colors that are being chosen right here are colors that are appearing in this main photo. Same thing with these other two photos. So if we're looking for a background color that kind of like went with some of the photos that we're gonna put in there, then we could do that. I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to play around with that. I would suggest always sticking to your brand colors. So we can have, we've got our little brand kit where we've got the square one colors. We can make it that blue. Food Ed, of course, kind of the orange and the green and the blue. The orange looks good. And honestly, you guys, you can't ever go wrong with a white background as long as you make sure that everything else pops, right? Nobody cares about a white background if there's more interesting things to look at up front. So that's what we're going to do. Let's stick to the white and we can change it later if we need to. Next thing I want to do is swap out these photos. So what I can do is on this left-hand panel, right, I'm under templates right now. I can go into elements and look for different pictures or graphics. But because we're talking specifically food businesses and I want pictures of food in my cover photo, now I can go into photos and I can type in tacos and I'm going to get lots of amazing pictures of tacos. But if I use an image like this in my cover photo, and then somebody sees that and they're like, oh man, I really want to eat that taco specifically, then they come to my restaurant and my tacos don't look like that. That's like false advertising, right? So we want to make sure that we avoid that. How do we do that? We're going to upload our own photos. So what we're going to do is, whether you're doing this on your phone, you can just like select a bunch of pictures and you can send them to your computer, upload them directly there. How you do that is that upload media button. Of course, I have a bunch of photos here that I have already uploaded, but all you do is select the images that you want to upload into Canva and hit that upload button, and then they will appear in your upload media folder. So here's how we drag our photos over. Now I want to move this one over. Let's put that one right there. And lastly, let's put that lovely taco photo over there. Perfect. All right. So we've got a lot of beautiful green, bright colors of some awesome tacos. And really the only thing left to edit are this little, I don't know, swoopy line right there. In fact, these are frames. So you can see the outline of that frame is this kind of like tan color. It's the same color as this line that goes across. We'll change that all in a minute. But what we're going to do right off the bat is change our text, right? So this is not a flower shop. This is not the grand opening, but maybe it's Taco Tuesday. All right. Now I want to show you this specific font. I don't know. It's fine for some things, I'm sure, but it doesn't feel like Taco Tuesday. It looks a little fancier, kind of floral, right? So we want to make sure that not only are we swapping the copy of the text, but also the font itself. So let's go ahead and select that font. And how we do that is this drop down on our top left. This one's called Tan Pearl. It's something that I don't need, but we can find something else that maybe fits our Taco Tuesday a little better. Now you can do that by searching a specific font, or you can do what I do, which is the old scroll. I don't know. I just like kind of seeing what kind of new fonts they've got. I really like this one. It looks kind of fun. Of course, it's a lot smaller than the other one. So what I want to do is I can select it and I can make that font bigger very slowly, or I can go through and make it significantly larger by moving it to selecting it, dropping down, and scrolling here. All right, so you can see that it is now off center. I want to grab and drag that over back to the center here. I will be able to know when it's in the center because I get a very tiny, delicate dotted line. And I know that you guys probably can't see this, but there is a line that comes right down the center. So like a dotted purple line. So now we know, okay, Taco Tuesday. I want to make sure that people know that this is every Tuesday, exclamation point. Again, I'm going to change my font. Play around with fonts, figure out like what works good together. We can keep the same one, or if we wanted to do something maybe a little different, we can go back over here and find a different one. A lot of times different fonts play well together. So this one isn't too bad. Taco Tuesday, every Tuesday. Let them know, right? And this can live on your Facebook cover for a really long time. In the event that people are looking for something to eat, or they are looking for specific specials or whatever. All right, we can change the text down here. This can be anything. We can just take it out if we want to, but really play around with it. I don't know. This seems like it might drop down here. That looks a little better to me. And that way we can make this significantly larger. And you see how I do that? I click the bottom corner. You could do it the top corner as well. It's just going to drag it in a different direction. But I'm going to make this significantly larger, and I'm going to move this back to the center. And can you see my purple line running up and down? Super. All right, so I'm going to drop that, and let's change this text color to like a dark green. Love it. Looks good. We could even do a little darker. I don't know. Let's stick to the green for now. Another thing I want to show you how to do is when we're selecting this text, if we hit the effects button, it gives it like, these are ways to make it, I don't know, the text stand out a little bit. So it gives you some options here. We can throw a shadow behind it, and it gives that drop shadow. So it looks a little more three-dimensional. We can do some lift, which gives like kind of a blurry shadow behind it. We can make it hollow. We can, what they call splice, right? So it's got the dark green outline, but we can do the middle, maybe a lighter green. Let's find one we like. I don't know about that. You don't want to go darker. You would definitely want to stay, I don't know. Maybe it was better the other way. I think we just made it look worse. But, like I said, play around with some of this stuff and you'll find what looks good, what doesn't. I like this one a lot. It has the echo. We can play with the offset. So that offsets it quite a bit. We can bring it a little closer. And you can change the direction. So this one, the direction of this particular effect on the text is to the bottom right. But we can move that to, the top right. If we keep moving it around, bottom left, right? I don't know. You can play around with it, see what works for you. We've got Taco Tuesday every Tuesday. Let's change this black text to a green. We can make that a little larger if we'd like. Let's bring it up to a 72. Love it. And let's bring it up a little bigger. Now, last thing we want to do is change the color of this line that goes across. Select it. Here's how we change our color. And we can make that our green as well. So now we've taken what originally looked like this, and we've changed it to really make sense for us and our business. Now, you want to make sure that you're swapping these out frequently. Like I said, you might do Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, but swap out your photos. Let us know what other specials you've got going on. That's the way to really, I don't know, like just expand your reach, right? Everybody knows that you're going to have Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, but what's your special on Wednesday? What's your special on Thursday? Why would I go to a very busy, crowded restaurant on a Tuesday to buy tacos when I know full well that you do Margarita Mondays? That's what I would like to know more about. So make sure that you're swapping this out. And like I said, it could be seasonally, it could be, quarterly, it can be monthly, whatever works for you. Food ed and the business of food trucks and Square One, we try to swap ours out event based. So when we have a big event coming up or different classes, we want to make sure that we are actively advertising those things in our Facebook cover. So if we had a business of food trucks class coming up, of course, that's what our cover would be about on the business of food trucks. If we had, I don't know, an awesome Canva series coming up in food ed, we would make sure that that was at the forefront. Or Square One, if we've got big events coming up, we want to make sure that those are hitting right there. So if you do a lot of events, or if you have specific dates that you want people to keep in mind, make sure that you've got that at the forefront in that Facebook cover. Make sense? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one. Now I want to show you, if you hit this add page, it's just going to give you a new blank page here. I did have a question maybe last week on how do you actually get this design from here to your Facebook page. So let me show you how to do that. You've got this download button. Now, if you hit that download, we can download as a PNG. It's my favorite because you can stretch it a little bit if you need to. And you're just going to hit that download button. Now, what you want to make sure is, see the select pages. Because I've got 2 pages here, if I hit that download, it's going to download both pages. Well, nobody needs a blank design downloaded on their computer to take up space. So what you can do is hit that select pages, select just page 1, done, and then you're going to download. You can see the progress bar down here, and then it will show up in your downloads, and you can upload that into your Facebook page. All right, on to the next. So let's come back down here to page 2. We've got a little blank canvas here. All right, so we did a restaurant on Taco Tuesday. Let's come back to our templates. Let's scroll and see if anything else kind of catches our eye. In fact, I want to go to my uploads and just show you a cheat. this may be cheating. So it was probably 5 years ago. We took some photos with some Chateau milk at a Hy-Vee around, I don't know, October, and Morgan was wearing her red boots, and so it was a road great get up. But anyway, so we took this photo of the blue milk, and if I was Chateau and I know that I had a new flavor coming out, and maybe it was seasonal or whatever that may be, you could literally just use a photo, right? Like, you don't have to have all the text and the flourishes and the design element to it. You can literally just use a photo. There's no rule that says you can't. And look at our safe zone, right? Our safe zone gets the milk bottle, you've got the logo, and you've got the pumpkins in the back. Now, again, when I talk about swapping out your Facebook covers frequently, right? Like, you don't want this image still on your Facebook page in January, right? You want to make sure that you're swapping them out. And maybe, by then Chateau's got, we've got a new milk flavor, and instead of this picture with the boots and the pumpkins, we have a photo of the milk with some in like a bed of flowers or something, or in the snow, or whatever that may be. So play around with it, and you can always just cheat and use a photo. In fact, it's not cheating. It's just easier. So you can always utilize that. Let's come down here. So another thing that works really good in a cover photo is you. And I know you're probably rolling your eyes. You're like, listen, Hannah, I'm trying to design things in Canva so I don't have to be the face of my business. And I'm here to say Too bad. You are the face of your business, especially as a food business owner. So whether you're a food trucker or a restaurant owner or a chef or you have a food product, like it's you selling the thing. So you want to make sure that when people go to your Facebook page, like sometimes it's good for them to see you because they know that they're buying local and they feel a personal connection to your food, right? So this is our good pal August. He is the food truck owner of Ciao Bella, and this is an awesome picture that we took of him in his truck. So something like this would also be great as a Facebook cover because his Facebook profile picture is going to be his logo, right? Now you can play around with your cover photo by having, he sells ice cream. Love it, right? So he's got his head sticking out of the window, or maybe a good picture would be of him, handing out ice cream to some kids, or kids like with ice cream running in their face. Faces work really well in Facebook covers as well. So we don't want to neglect ourselves by not putting a good face in a Facebook cover. And it's called Facebook for a reason. So if we wanted to use something like this, I do want to show you. Now this maybe gets a little nitpicky, but because the sun in this image is actually above his window flap, right? It's casting a shadow on his face. So this image is a little darker than, I don't know, we normally would like to see. And even though it's a really awesome photo of him, there are things that we can do to kind of brighten this up a little bit. So all you do is select that image, and then we're going to hit this edit image icon. Now we can go into the adjust, or we can scroll down and we can see all the different adjustments we can make. Excuse me. I can play with the brightness, brighten it up a little bit. We don't want to lose the contrast, so we can darken things. There we go. Let's give it a little more saturation. Perfect. We can, even if we wanted to tint this specific image, we can kind of play around with that and give it a, I don't know, this looks like, I don't know, Valentine's Day or something. We could even give it a little blue tint, kind of matches his theme of like ice cream. Or we can just kind of leave it there in the middle and not mess with it too much. We can even blur pictures. Now you're probably like, Hannah, why? Why don't I want to blur an image? I don't have a great answer for you, but I do know that if you were trying to make a background for something, sometimes blurring it out makes it look a little more three-dimensional. You don't need to worry about that. But there are lots of different ways that you can play around with the adjustments of the images. We can even play with the vibrance, so we can see that if we move that up, all of a sudden the shirt's, bluer, the hat's bluer. We can see his face a lot better. But if we kind of pull that, you can see the differences, right? Highlights, I want to make sure that we brighten those a little bit. Shadows, we can lighten those, or we can darken shadows, right? So play around with it, see what you like, and then show it to somebody and see if they also like it. Because you want to make sure that you're actually making improvements on a photo and not just like taking it overboard. But now we can actually see August's face, and that's something that is going to be really important if you're the person that sticks their head out of the window, or you're the person that brings the food out to the table, whatever that may be. So something like this would work really well as a Facebook cover. We could even, if we wanted to throw some text on here, let's do that. Let's go to our Elements tab. Actually, I'm going to show you what not to do first, and then I'll tell you how to fix it. So let's say, okay, I want to put some text on here that says, we all scream for ice cream. Lovely. So I'm going to add some text in here. Everybody screams for ice cream! Exclamation point. Okay, so the text is on here. It's in a really bad location, so let's move it. I would kind of like it over here so it balances his face out a little bit. If you double click on this image, we can move him down or we can move him up. We can't move him side to side because you can see that this is where the photo ends. But if we make the photo larger, now all of a sudden we can move it side to side. So I've zoomed in a little bit, but that's to get August a little off center. And now my text has a little more room over here, and it's going to all be in that safe zone. Another thing that I don't particularly like about what's going on right now is how long and small this text is. So if I take this white bar right here and I move it in, it's gonna put everything stacked on top of each other. So like everybody screams for ice cream. That's, I don't know, that seems to be all in line for me. Now it's a little too small, so I'm gonna drag it with my top right dot here, make it a lot larger. And then of course I can pull it down. We can see that it's centered on that horizontal line. And we can, I don't know. Sometimes I don't like the space in between the text. So I'm going to hit my spacing option and go to line spacing and make that a little smaller. But what did I just do? I need to recenter it. So here we go. Everybody screams for ice cream. Black text on a dark background. Can't read it very well. So your first, I don't know, instinct is probably going to be, I need to change the font color. Okay, well, we can do that. Let's see, if there's something that looks a little better. Well, there's this blue. That's a shirt color, or close enough. And now you still can't see that. Well, what if we changed it to white? That's it's even worse. Okay, well, what about blue to match his hat? You see how none of these are really popping? That one pops a little bit better. Maybe we could try red. I don't know. Nothing's really working for us right now, right? So a little hack that we can do is come back up here to elements. We can find a shape that we like. I kind of like this circle. And we can move this circle over here and we can center it on that text. And let's change this green to the blue in August's shirt. Let's change the text back to white. And now we've got August with the text everybody screams for ice cream right next to them. So play around with it a little bit. There's always going to be a solution for whatever design issue you have. And so I guess I want to challenge you guys to jump into Canva, really play around with it. And when you run into problems, because you're going to run into problems, I constantly run into problems. You just have to continue to play with it. But I'm going to offer you this. I want you guys to reach out to me because I want to screen share with you when you guys are designing something, or if there's something that you just can't get right, or a color is not just right, or you can't get the perfect font. I want to help you with it. And I want to do that in a one-on-one. So make sure to reach out to me. Megan's going to be awesome and put my contact information in the comments. Everybody say, oh, thanks, Megan. And I want you, when you have issues with Canva, email me and we'll set up a time and we can do this together. This is what I like to do. I like jumping in and helping people with their designs for their business. So think about something like this. Think about using just a photo. Think about using a template. Let's do one more just because we can. Let's come back up to our templates. In fact, I want to look at what kind of uploads we've got. Okay. So let's go back to food, right? So we've got our urban food truck. Love this picture. Yum. Also, like, happy lunchtime, everybody. I'm starving now. So I love this picture. But maybe there's a way, I want to show you what this looks like. If we just try to use this image in a Facebook cover, everything gets cut off, right? We're outside of our safe zone. So this is not going to work as an entire photo in a Facebook cover. So I'm going to delete that and I'm going to come back up here to templates and I'm going to find something that maybe works a little bit better. What we're looking for is something with a frame, right, that we can fit that picture into. Now, I think this might be a little overboard. We don't necessarily need it to be that small, but we can continue scrolling down here a little bit and find something that just works for you. I don't know. This one's fine's a little weird. Or something like this is nice too. We can see that the picture is that frame just right there. Let's see what happens when we swap that out. We're gonna go to our uploads, take that urban food truck and pop it in there. It looks okay. You can't really see the sandwich part down here, but what we can do is take this element, which is this purple line, and we can pull it down a little bit. And now we can see this a lot better. And in fact, we can move this over and move this guy over. And now we have our entire photo in the frame. There we go. We just play around with it. Play around with it until we find what works, right? So let's, we can put a logo in the bottom corner of this. Easy enough. And we can say, you know, stop on by or special of the day or, I don't know, urban food truck loves Kansas City. Let's do that. The urban food truck loves Casey. And we can pull this down. Let's maybe make it a little larger. And of course, we want to make sure that we can get enough space there on the side that we're not getting cut off. And then, you know, pop a logo somewhere. Let's swap out the purple in here to maybe a red or a black. This red looks good. Swap this to a red, and let's swap this to a red. And all of a sudden, we've got something that looks a little more like a Facebook cover. And we've used an image that we already had. Again, talking with food trucks specifically, a lot of food trucks just like to use an image of their truck itself in the Facebook cover. And I'm here to tell you that that's also not a bad idea. Just because if someone follows you on Facebook, means they have probably been to your truck or they want to go to your truck. But they want to make sure that they know what your truck looks like. So if you're at an event and they see you parked somewhere, they automatically know, oh, that's Chow Bella. That's that ice creamery that I really like. So sometimes just having the truck itself in the Facebook cover is going to serve you really, really well. And you can do that, like I said, as just an image, or you can find a template that you like and you can play around with that way. So this class is going to end a little early. My apologies. Not feeling that great today. But if you guys have any other questions, please feel to drop those in the comments. And like I said, please, 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 if you have, if you run into these obstacles on Canva, if I didn't explain something just right, or you're having trouble like picking your brand colors or whatever that may be, if it's a design problem, if it's a marketing problem, reach out to me. Let's set up a one-on-one and let's talk through it together. I want to share my screen with you and I want to show you exactly how you do something to get it just the way you want it. That's exciting to me. So I want you guys to do me a favor. There is a survey link that Megan is going to drop in. And if you could take that survey for me, I would really appreciate it. Let me know what other types of things that you want to learn, not just on Canva, not just with marketing, but in your business in general. We are really lucky to have a grant from the Kauffman Foundation that allows us to put on awesome events just like this one. So let us know what you're looking for. Let us know what we can help you with. Fill out the survey and play around with Canva. Get familiar with it. Ask questions. Go to YouTube. You can learn a lot of stuff on there as well. But most importantly, reach out to me and we can do it together. So next week, we are talking menus. So if you have a new restaurant, a new food truck, or you have a really old, ugly menu and you want to redo it and you don't want to pay a designer or an artist like a ton of money to do that, we're talking about how to create a menu in Canva that you can send to the print shop and have it done for a lot cheaper. So that's what we're talking about next week. I hope you guys join us. And until then, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'll see you next week. Bye.